Good morning. I am Almarie from International Magic Pot. Before I sat down for this video, I called in my team in spirit, the angels, my guardian angels, the archangels, for a conversation on life and death. I'm speaking from my own experiences and my own reflections. Life and death, it is a very sensitive issue for me. There is a very thin line between life and death. I used to see euthanasia as murder, but that is a debate that can go on for a long time. I have done some googling. I have googled about euthanasia. They say, does euthanasia hurt? A solution is injected into the body or an animal. You have to have anesthesia where you lose consciousness. Then the solution is injected. Within 2 minutes, the heart stops beating. The difference between euthanasia and dysphanesia. Euthanasia is primarily concerned with the quality of human life in its final phases, while dysphanesia seeks the extension of the human life, fighting death. What does the Catholic Church say about euthanasia? The sanctity of life principle, which rests on the person's unique relationship with God, is the basis of the Church honoring human life. Death always comes as a shock. It is final, it is done. There is always a longing for that person, especially if you have not been able to say goodbye. It is a longing that never disappears. And some people may say fighting death is selfish. But for me, after struggling with depression, I see death as negative. I see life as positive. People see different things differently. That is my perception. Should you be with your family or a pet when they are put to sleep? For some people, the emotion may be too overwhelming, but for many it is a comfort to be with their loved ones during their final hours. I would really love to know what happened to my father when he died. I never had the opportunity to say goodbye to him. It is overwhelming for me. I always will have this longing for him until I know what happened. During the final phases of death, you have to come to a place of accepting death and then trying to communicate it to your loved one. If I could share more about my life, all my life I have struggled with depression. I had hypnosis. I went through the dark night of the soul. My one brother once gave me a form to fill in. All he said was, it is a test. I still don't understand exactly what it is all about. There were 6 to 8 questions on that form. I can only remember 2 of the answers. I had to choose answers. The one question I chose world peace, and the other question I chose joy. If someone could please explain to me exactly what that was about, and why did I had to go through everything, going above the law. I know it is my experience to come into union with my twin. But I want to ask you a question. How can they say that euthanizing a patient is only a matter between a doctor and the patient? How can they say that family has no choice in the decision? It is an extreme sensitive matter for me. All family members and close friends must know about it. Saying goodbye, accepting it is very important. Death always comes as a big shock in hospitals. It is the longing for a loved one, the longing of the good times together. How can anyone say that I'm selfish or one is selfish if you're fighting death? It's it's the longing, it's death is final, it's the longing for that person. May I ask my spirit team, in a past life I hanged myself. Did I really hang on the tree for 100 years? My throat is very blocked. I know that is what I struggle to communicate. It was wartime, and my father in that life had to fight or flight for survival. I was left alone in a big house, not knowing what happened to my father. I had this longing, this deep longing for my father. I say that a change of scenery is as good as a holiday. Don't worry, be happy. I'd love to have a conversation with Bob Marley. On a serious note, as a matter of symbolism, standing up as the President of South Africa, may I ask that these very special babies be born half human, half animal, and many so-called abnormal babies. I can only speak from my point of view, my experiences. I believe that a mother should see her own baby after birth, even if he's born dead. May I ask that euthanasia be made legal in South Africa, not only South Africa. I believe it should be done worldwide. Euthanasia is a matter between you and God. May I ask for more humane hospitals? It is, it is my opinion. I don't want to go through all the sufferings I have seen in hospitals. If I can talk about organ transplant, I remember seeing the body. They say you're brain dead, but it doesn't mean you don't feel. Cutting a body open to remove an organ, I think that is very cruel. That person are cut open alive. I believe they can feel. And even the big heart transplants that is going on nowadays, I can just see the pigs being cut open alive, going through that incredible pain. It's cruel. I don't want, one day I will sit with my angels on the other side of the rainbow bridge. They will talk to me like I'm talking to you now. I believe that. And if I don't speak about it, I could go through that same suffering and pain. After struggling with depression my life through, I was fighting for life. I saw life as positive and death as negative. I believe that euthanasia should be made legal, but it is a very sensitive matter. I believe that family and friends should have a say in this matter. They must be made aware. They must be able to say a final goodbye. They will have a longing for this person for the rest of their life. I thought that there was a thin line between life and death. But I don't want one day that the angels put me in the same, through the same suffering that I see people go through. In my eyes, I saw death as murder after struggling for survival with depression. May I ask my angels to help me clear that issue also. Thank you. God bless you.